provide you with art business coaching tips so that you can gain focus and action on your art business. This month, we are focused on art business goals and be smart into your business goals. To support efforts, I have several resources available. Download and complete. Last week, you were provided with Put the Smart in Your Art Goals worksheet. Link will be provided in the show notes. And this week, I have a new worksheet for you to download and complete to help overcome any obstacles that would prevent you from achieving your goal. For a deeper dive into defining your vision, take the two-part Lunch and Learn series called Planning for Creatives, Planning Mindfully with Action, where a professional artist, Julie McCullough, and designer of the JMA Planner will walk you through how to define your vision for your life and plan your actions so that you can achieve your vision. Last week, your action was to write down your goals and make them SMART goals. If you remember, SMART is a mnemonic device to remember the key ingredients that go into defining a goal. Those ingredients are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. In last week's exercise, you were also provided direction to start writing down any obstacles that came into your mind as you were defining your SMART goal. In this week's episode, we're going to talk about what to do with those obstacles. So stay tuned. Before we move into this week's episode, I'd like to give you a little history about myself so you know where I'm coming from and my experience and knowledge. So I'm currently living my second career as an artist, art business coach, and the founder of the Positive Painters community. The first part of my life is what equipped me to help you in art business, because I've been there, done that, and I have a little bit of a spin on it too, and I'll talk about that in a minute. You see, I have an undergraduate degree in marketing, a master's in business administration with a concentration in management information systems. I have another master's in project management with a concentration in e-commerce. And I have a project management professional certification. And what's funny about that project management professional certification is that's a certification that requires 10,000 hours plus of project management experience, plus 7 years of actual experience, and I had to pass a 4-hour test to gain the certification. And the certification is reinstated every 3 years based on my experience and my continuing education. In addition to my education background, I worked my way up the corporate ladder from a senior program analyst to managing a team of project managers and implementation consultants. So, and I'm not going to bore you too much with all the details. You can check out my profile on LinkedIn, provide a link in the show notes. How did I get here right now with you? So when I was going up the corporate ladder, art was kind of like a side hobby. It was something that I did to relax, and it quickly became a passion. And it was basically all I really wanted to do. I wanted to quit my job for years and years, but I knew that my time and my skill set was being developed for some reason, and I couldn't just quit. So I would try on a daily basis to find purpose and meaning in my work because I just knew it was leading me somewhere. And I knew all I wanted to do was paint. But I also knew that one day I would be here with you. I didn't really fully know how I'd get here, but I knew that this was the goal, this was the burning desire that was in my heart, and I knew I had a lot to learn. I'm now 40-something years old. I've got another 40-something years in my life, and I had a lot to learn. So I soaked up everything I could about art business, planning, and then in my actual job, contract management, financial forecasting, team allocation, risk planning, all of these things. And here's what's the funny thing. It is all playing out right now, doing exactly what I envisioned 20 years ago. Why am I kind of telling you all this? It's because of this background and my love of art that I have been working towards developing a way to speak to artists on how to manage their art and their art business. Because what's not readily seen is that you are effectively managing multiple projects. You are a project manager, an entrepreneur. You're just not told those terms. So one of my objectives is to really communicate to you how to manage your business based on all the knowledge and all the experience that I've learned in the corporate world and brought it into my business and bring that to you so that you can develop those skills to manage your business and your time better, which thereby gives you more creative time. We all want more creative time, right? And that's where I'm coming from. So last week, when you were defining your artist goals and we talked a minute about documenting your obstacles, you know, those little things that pop in your mind that says you're not good enough, lots of artists out there, there's so many in the market, I don't know Photoshop, I don't have a website, I don't know what to do with Facebook, blah, 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 blah. All those negative things that kind of get in your way that says the 1,000 reasons why you shouldn't do this, right? These are your obstacles. Those are negative thoughts, and they help prevent you from achieving your goal. Now, if we kind of rethink that for a second and go back to the soccer player, that soccer player, he has his eye on the goal, and as he runs forward, he has obstacles coming in his way too, and he has the ability to go around, pass the ball to avoid the obstacle, or plow through the person. And the soccer player will have it blocks too, where maybe they just can't go left for some reason. They're pulling a Zoolander. They can't go left. The mental blocks are often the most difficult to overcome, and these are just mindset obstacles. All right, so I just gave one a category right there. Mindset obstacle. So let's talk about how we can overcome these obstacles. In the worksheet, I asked you to categorize the obstacles as mindset, physical, or knowledge. Categorizing the obstacles is extremely important and a powerful tool because it will cause you to remove the emotion from the obstacle and begin seeing it for what it really is. And as a result, you'll be able to move past them. And that's the important point to note. You have to identify them to move past the obstacle. Once you have the obstacle defined, the next thing to do is start developing plans of how to overcome that obstacle. In the project management world, we call this risk mitigation. So let's take an example. Let's say I have a goal of creating a series of 12 animal paintings to use where I want to create a calendar by October 2021. The immediate blockers that I'll have are, there are so many calendars out there. I don't know who I could use to create the calendar. What animals should I paint? I need panels for the drawings. I don't have 12 reference images. What is going to be so special about my artwork about these animals? And so those thoughts occurred faster than I could actually say them, okay? And not yet alone write them. So in today's episode, I'm going to break down 2 of these for additional examples in overcoming obstacles in your SMART goals. The first obstacle, there are so many calendars already out there. This can be categorized as a mindset issue because while this is true, there are a ton of calendars out there. There are also a billion plus people out there, and not everyone wants a kitten calendar, right? Someone is looking for what you have, and if you stop now, you'll never find each other. So you have to keep going. The mitigation strategy for obstacle number 1 is to keep your focus on your target audience and that one person. And for me, it always helps to name that one person that I'm targeting. The obstacle number 2, which is I don't know who I should use to create the calendars. Well, this is a category of knowledge. The mitigation strategy is do the research, Google it, ask people in forums, post a question in the Positive Painter community. You see where I'm going with this? The key is as you walk through the mitigation strategy and solve the issue, another blocker may or may not pop up. If it does, take the same logical approach. Write it, categorize it, solve it. Simple. Write it, categorize it, solve it. Keep your eye on the goal, adjust your ball when needed, and move the ball down the field towards your goal. Your action for this week is to download the Overcoming Obstacles to Your SMART Goals worksheet. A link is provided within the show notes, and write down your mitigation strategies to overcome your obstacles. If you get stuck and are a Positive Painter Pro member, post your questions in the Positive Painter Art Business section of our forum, and the community will be happy to help. For more resources to aid your planning, be sure to go to the 2-part Lunch and Learn series where artist Julie McCullough helps you planning mindfully with action so you can breaking down these goals and your mitigation plans to achieve your goal. If you have more questions about your art business or having your art business to meet your goals, contact me, Stephanie Weaver, Art Business Coaching Sessions. Included in the show is a link to learn more about art business coaching, me, or feel free to email me at hello@stephanieweaverartist.com. Until next time, stay safe, happy,